Are we on? Am I online? I am live. Hey guys, how's it going? You're probably going to get bombarded with emails from me. Hang on, I'm still getting used to this live streaming stuff on YouTube. Where do I see the chat again? But basically, in the mornings, what I do before I start working on my, Marvel stuff, I like to work on my creator-owned book, and I'm really trying to make a push to get this show on the road, because I've written the whole story, plotted it out, and I've written the first issue, and now I just need to draw it. So I'm trying to work on it for about half an hour a day. So I figured I might as well have you guys come along for the ride. Where was I before I was watching my stream? I think what I need to do is go on YouTube to my live stream. I'm such a noob. A noob. If I were you, I'd just skip a bit of the video so you know what's going on. To my live stream. Oh, that's me watching my own video. There's the live chat. Okay, we are good to go, folks. So, what I'm doing here is the cover. I showed it a bit in my yesterday's stream. So this is the cover. And what's going on is that we've got Elizabeth down here, who's the main character, and then a bunch of random famous monsters. So this is the color layer, so I need that. I still need to finish the inks, which is here, so I'm just going to get to it. It's probably way too early for anybody to join the stream. I can't even see who's watching this time. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Well, there's the live chat. The live chat's there. Okay, I figured it out. All I have to do is scroll down. Alright. It's going to be streamlined from now on, I promise. But it's probably, it's 9 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, which means that everyone that's watching in the States is definitely asleep. So I'm probably just going to ramble a bit as I do this. So since this is the first episode about Leave Nun Alive, I'll chat a bit more about the book. It's being written by me and my brother. It's a story that I came up with about 2 years ago, 2015, when it was around this time 2 years ago, and me and my brother were living together on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and it was the first time that we had lived together since we were kids, due to just certain situations, and we really love films, and every month we did themes of films that we were watching. So we had Action Movie Month, which was fun. I think that was in November, so where we only watch action movies from our childhood, like Face Off and Judge Dredd and all that fun stuff. And then October was horror movies, and I watched a ton of possession stuff, because I'm really into demonic possession stories. The Exorcist is one of my favorite films. And I just started coming up with this story about this little girl that's an exorcist, but she is in the world where all folklore is real. So Hunchback of Notre Dame, Frankenstein, Headless Horseman, all this stuff, they're all genuine characters that she comes across. So every story arc focuses on that. I'm not going to get too much into the story, because I'd like to save that for when people actually read it. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love this story. And the plan is to pitch it to Image Comics. And if Image picks it up, then great. If they don't, that's fine. I'm going to take it to IDW, because I know IDW does create your own stuff. And then if they don't take it up, then I know some friendly, small independent companies that might do. And if they don't, then I'll just do it myself through Kickstarter. So that's that plan. Oh, we got someone in the chat. How's it going, TF Hero? Which Marvel character or team would you like to draw for Marvel someday? I would definitely love to draw Captain America one day. He's my favorite Marvel hero. I've already done Spider-Man, which was great, and Deadpool, which was awesome. But I tell you what, one of the best I would like to do, if we're talking about Marvel in general, is work on Star Wars, specifically Boba Fett. That would be a dream job if they let me touch Boba Fett. Because he's one of my favorites. And TF Hero, I think you're the only one here, because it's so early. So feel free to ask any questions, otherwise I'll ramble on about this creator-owned book. So this right here is the Hunchback of Notre Dame, looking as sexy as ever. Look at this sexy man. Let's add some renders. So he's a sexy man. And I'm just going to do one character at a time for this cover until it's done. So I think I'm going to document this whole process. But I can't spend too much time on this. I think what's going to happen is I'll stop working on this in about 25 minutes. And then I'll be back on with another stream. Where I'll be working on some more Marvel projects. I've got to do a page with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and I think I can get away with showing that. Oh, someone else has a gun. Dizzy Angel Demon. Hi, hey, he looks great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. He's going to be in the story in the 3rd arc. Again, I'm not giving too much away. I know that kind of sucks, but all will be revealed. I'm hoping that the first issue will be done. The line art will all be done for it by summer of next year. And maybe I'll set up like a Patreon or something where if people want to see all that content early, they can. And maybe on Patreon I can go more in depth about the story and stuff. It just depends if there's actual interest in it or not. But this isn't the only small press thing I'm doing. Well, not small press, I mean independent thing I'm doing. I've written and had drawn up 3 issues of this zombie comic I'm doing, so I'm looking forward to getting that in the world, and that should be all done by next spring. So I'm just trying to make a big push into being a writer and also like a writer-artist. Don't get me wrong, I love drawing comics for Marvel and other companies, but I have a big itch that I need to scratch for creating my own content. And if I can show the big companies that, hey look, I can write too, then if I can write comics with my brother and then I draw them, that's just, you know, that's just the dream. That's what we used to do as kids. DF Hero says, would you ever draw Luke Cage and Iron Fist book in the future? Yeah, hell yeah, I would. That'd be really fun. As long as it's classic Iron Fist costume. I want nothing to do with the Netflix series. And his classic costume is just really cool. Now Luke Cage would be great fun. There was a Luke Cage book recently. Was it just called Power Man or something? And the art in it was fantastic. I forgot the artist's name. So he's got lots of boils and bumps on him. Because I say so, because it's my book. I can do whatever I want. So with this book, I've planned it out that it's 100 issues long, so I hope it gets picked up, because I'd like to spend the next decade into my 40s drawing it. I want it to be my my masterpiece, my you know, my big thing. And what I'm doing it along with this is I am just doing the flats, because I'm going to send it off to my favourite colourist, Cyril Vincent, and hopefully he'll do it. or Vincent Cyril. I'm still not sure which way he has his name. I'm pretty sure it's Vincent Cyril. And I'm going to get that bad boy to colour it, because he's the best colorist I've ever worked with, still is. Thing is I could get carried away and I could just spend all day working on my book. But I'm sensible and I only dedicate half an hour a day. Which is good because it means it will get done eventually. Some people, like I know before, I used to be like, oh, I'll just do some of it later, like when I'm done with work. But then when work's done, I'm like, I do not want to draw anything. So just to warm up, I start the day with this, and I make sure I get half an hour done, so that it definitely, at least a bit of something gets done every single day. So this is a rope around his waist. Try not to make these lines too thick to show that they're a bit behind his head and his shoulders, so I'll just thicken that up there. There we go. Thank you. I've done so much preliminary art for this, but now that the story's in place and it's ready to go, it's really awesome to like finally be like, yes, like something you've had in your head for 2 years is finally like laid out. I will say that the first issue involves Bloody Mary in the opening, and the first story arc, which is 3 issues long, is the story of the Headless Horseman. So Elizabeth teams up with Ichabod Crane to take on the Headless Horseman, with lots of twists and different takes on characters. Like, that's the thing, is even though it's full of all these characters you know, they're all not going to be just the classic thing you've seen a million times. It's all different takes on the characters. So Andre says, just started working in Clip Studio EX and got a small Intuos drawer. Would like to upgrade. Recommendations? Upgrade your tablet. If I were in good job for getting Clip Studio, I would get what I'm working on, which is a 12WX. They're not as expensive as they used to be. I think they're about 500 now. But they are worth, if that's out of your price range, then save up for it, because it's worth every single penny. Like, being able to draw on the screen is just a treasure. I'm looking to upgrade, well, not upgrade, but also have the option of getting a Cintiq companion, because I want to be able to work at night while I'm watching TV with my fiance. I want to be able to be sitting there working on this book as well, because there's many nights where I'm like, man, I could totally work on the book right now, but I don't want to go up into my office, and I don't want to be antisocial. Dizzy says he hopes to get picked up. Thank you. And again, if it doesn't get picked up, I'm at least going to draw the first trade paperback of it. Like, that's a definite. Like, the story is definitely going to be out there, because I just love it so much. And right now I'm working with Image, so I hope that I can build a good relationship with them, where if I pitch something to them, they might be more open to listening to it. So this is like a bit of rope coming off the back. I forgot that I didn't finish the inks on him because I really wanted to start penciling Frankenstein. I might pencil Frankenstein a bit as well. I'm just basically going to draw the Hulk. Because the Hulk is just a rip-off of Frankenstein. You can tell it's early because my voice is getting crackly and low. I haven't had my morning coffee yet. Look at this sexy beast. I'm just a sexy beast. Sexy beast. My face is full of yeast. Some of these inks here are pretty sloppy, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like with monsters it's alright if it's a bit sloppier. TF here says, which book would you draw for DC? Anything Batman. I would love a long run on something like Robin or Nightwing. And I think that's because as a kid, me and my brother loved Batman the Animated Series. But he was the older brother. So anytime we played a game, he'd always be Batman. And sometimes I would just be Spider-Man instead. So I'd always end up being Robin or Nightwing. I don't, as a really young kid, I always used to be Robin, and then when Nightwing came out, I was like, cool, I can finally be a bit more badass than the guy in green tights. So, I think, even though I was held back from playing as Batman as a kid, I think I would probably own up to it and draw a Robin book. And I think that would suit my art style as well. The first comics I collected as a kid were Nightwing single issues. And I never read any of them, I just looked at the art. Like I did with most of my stuff. It's like today, I've looked at all my Spawn reference a million times. Have I ever actually read it? No. Just look at the art. I know what's going on. I know what happens in the story. It's clear. It's just something I used to always do as a kid. I'd never read the comics, I would just buy them for the art, which I don't think people really do much anymore. But that's because that was the 90s and pages were just, pin-ups basically. But I loved it. I was there. I was a 90s kid. You'd like to see me draw a Green Arrow Shazam book? I'd love to do Green Arrow. That would be really fun. Though I'm terrible at drawing bows. Really bad. Okay, I think he's done. So I think we can actually fit in some pencils. So let's put him there. Hunchback. Looks grim. And then let's make a new folder. Frankenstein. Be my Frankenstein. Alright, guys. Right, I want a big, hulking... Let me just get up an image of Frankenstein so I can get some... Like, all these characters are going to be in the book, but I'm not designing all of them first to know exactly what they look like. I'm just... for the first cover, they don't need to look exactly the way. But let's get up an image of Frankenstein, just so I have some inspiration of ways I can draw him. Oh, he is a sexy, sexy man. So he's got that big cone bit on the head. I want him to have more hulky features, but recognizable as Frankenstein. Which way do I want his head to face? I'm going to redo that head. You can see that the face is going this way. That's what I originally wanted. So one thing I will definitely keep is his massive brow, which is a lot like the way McFarlane drew the Hulk. Speaking of which, I should probably get that up for reference as well. There's nothing wrong with looking at reference for inspiration. Just don't copy exactly what you see. There's a difference. Like, some people don't understand the difference between referencing something and just blatantly copying something. Like, there is a huge difference. There we go. That's more the reference I wanted. Just trying to create interesting shapes out of it. Head is whack. Oh, I got 8 minutes left of creator-owned work. No, and then I have to get back to my real job. I have to get back to my sad real job drawing Marvel comics. Woe is me. I always love when A scar goes like through an eye. I'm not a big fan of what I'm doing up here. There we go. That's the hair I was looking for. To make this less triangle-y and smooth it out a bit. I don't want it just to look like... Sometimes I get carried away and my Dragon Ball Z influence comes in and I just make these big triangle eyebrows like that. Okay. Oh, I can't forget the big bolts in his neck, right? Actually, I'm gonna make those extreme bolts. Almost like earrings. What does Frankenstein wear? Just like a jacket, right? That's so lame. I think I'm gonna give him a ripped up shirt like McFarlane Hulk. There we go. Compromise. Much like I did with, if any of you guys have read the Great Lakes Avengers run I did, the character Good Boy had a big ripped up shirt because I'm a big fan of the way McFarlane drew the Hulk. What's going on with this shoulder? Am I getting too extreme here? Am I going Extreme Studios? I think I am. What am I doing? I need to lay it out first. Come on, getting carried away. Lay it out. Okay, so I wanted him to be punching down, but now I look and that's not the best look. So maybe do... See, sometimes, like you saw before, I was just going in like for straight anatomy. Sometimes I can get away with doing that, but then sometimes you realize, like, you know what, you need to lay out the drawing. Oh, I got 2 minutes left. It's good though. I want to take a break. This Frankenstein is coming out okay, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. And also, it doesn't feel like he's looking down. There we go. He's got to be pointing down. That's better. I'll probably just get the layouts for him. That looks cool. Yes, that was the goal, is to try and make him look like Frankenstein, but also the Hulk, so I think I've succeeded in what I had in my mind's eye. And that's, sadly, if you look here, that's as much time as I can spend on my creator own today. But that's okay. I think I got some good stuff here. There's stuff that needs to definitely be reworked a bit. This leg doesn't really make much sense. This knee could be... It needs to be pointing this way. There we go, that's better. Alright, I need to stop. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this stream for now, but I will be back in just a moment with streaming some Marvel Comics stuff. So thank you for watching this stream, and I'll see you in a bit.